Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is a tutorial for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Today I want to help you how to figure out what to produce and what to export and what to import. Hey, I've seen this question a lot and I want to give some guidance. Simply put, people ask, what should I start with exporting? What should I import? What should I produce myself? How should I do all these things? There's a simple answer right in the game for you. Go to your economy and trade tab. In here, you have a lot of statistics that will help you make that decision. First, look at not the current one because these numbers are always changing. Look at the last year if you have those numbers. Once you have that, you have exports of resources and imports of resources. Look at your imports. If there's something in here that you really care about by quantity, like how much do you produce, or by value, how much do you spend, look at it. And in here, you should be able to figure out what is really valuable to your republic. What should you make? It's not necessarily the same as looking at what will make me the most money. Look at it as what's costing me the most money. That's one way to approach this. In my case, I use a lot of fuel that I'm currently not producing, but I need almost 4,000 tons of it. So I gotta keep that in mind when I want to produce my own stuff. So other things in here that are usually commonly found is meat and food. Those are two good ones that will cost a lot of money. Okay, let's look at something different just a little bit. Domestic production and consumption. This will help you even more. Again, you can look at different years and you can change your overall scheme and everything should make enough sense. But what you want to look at is what is your consumption in citizen facilities. You are consuming 1,500 tons of food, some meat, some clothes, and so on. You look at this, do your math and figure out what is most valuable to you right now. Can you even produce 1,500 tons of food? And so on. And if you would produce 1,500 tons of food, which would cost you close to $1 million, is that worth building a production chain around it? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. There's more. You can also look at your industry. What are they consuming? They consume crops. There's a lot of crops that you could import here, or is it worth producing yourself? Again, this is just the total consumption, not the total need, or what you can maximum output, and so on. You get a lot of answers in here. Once you have these answers, go back to the to the current prices and the global market. These will tell you what is worth what. And if you don't know what you want to start with, and you just want to sell rubles, sort it. The most profitable items and cargo is a nuclear fuel. And we are in 1979, so don't look at the numbers too much. It's more this is more than the next one because inflation will change these numbers. Also, your import and export will affect these numbers. So there's a lot of money to be had in nuclear fuel, but it takes a lot of money to set up a nuclear fuel production chain, plus the cities, plus everything else that goes around it. So this is super expensive to get to. Clothes are pretty good, and you can look at the production there and so on. You just go through these lines and see what you have for resources, what you need for resources, what you spend on resources, and what you would have to spend on importing whatever you want to make. Once you make all those decisions, and you can pick one, you can build that. But before you build, verify your assumption either by using mods or by using vanilla buildings. In this case, I will look at food. Where is food in this list? Food is down here. I can sell it for 555 ruble per ton, or I would import it for 600. So there's just a small discrepancy. That's fine. But I know how much it's worth. Once you know that, go figure out how you're going to produce it. To produce it, I need 170 people per shift. That is times 3, almost 500. Let's call that 510. It can produce 20 tons of food a day. There's 30 days in a month, approximately. So 600 tons of food per month if I run at 100%. And for that, it would need about double that in crops. So 1,200 tons of crops, a little more than that. That's our ratio. So for 1,200 tons of crops, which would cost, over here, you look, what's crops going to sell for? Or what do you have to buy it for? Crops is pretty low. You import it for, let's say, 90, so 1200 times 90 is almost 1000. So it's not terrible, but it's not great either, maybe. So you do your math here and eventually come to a ratio of, oh, I can produce this. I'm already set up for this. I want to really jump on this. Make your decisions based on what your republic actually wants to do and how they want to do it. There are guides. There are people that will tell you do machinery or vehicles. Super profitable, but you have to set it up and you have to import a lot of stuff. That's a lot of supply chains, but it can work. Steel. Some people say steel. Steel is only worth it if you at least produce coal, because you need a lot of coal. Food can be really worth it, but it's high volume, high demand, but your republic also needs it. So that's a good one. Fabric. Fabric is a pretty quick turnaround because, clothes. Made out of fabric. Fabric is expensive, but clothes will double that, and you don't need a lot of clothes in your republic, but you can still produce it for yourself so you don't have to import it. And so on. You can go down the list. The one thing you have to keep in mind when you do this, if you want to export by truck only because of reasons, at the beginning it's hard to set up a rail network. You have to keep in mind that every truck that you have will add traffic to your border post. And once your border post is overloaded, you will not get the materials that you need all the time. So that will be a problem. So if you want to export by truck, you need to pick something that is low volume and high price. Low volume and high price means you want to be on this front page where you sell. So either do clothing, plastics maybe, and there's a couple other ones in here that you can try. They can all be worth it. Steel can be worth it if you can produce it yourself completely with iron and coal production lines. But it's not guaranteed. But if you want to do low volume with trucks, with high returns, you need to pick higher volume or higher priced items. If you have a train network already going, gravel is totally fine. Bricks is fine. Prefab panels is fine. Really anything in the construction business that is in excess of what you are currently having or producing or needing is all fine, because everything that's excess is a good export. It's not a way to build an economy on gravel, but you can build an economy on gravel and bricks and prefab panels and steel and you can just continually add to it, and eventually you will have an economy that can survive off of just all your excess exports. What is your biggest resource and what is your most valuable resource? Your worker. Always look out for your workers. If you have enough workers, you can produce a lot of stuff and you can export a lot of things. So I'm hoping this helps with the thought process a little bit of what you should export and how you should start it and how you should react to things and how you should actually get things going. It is completely up to you how you want to use that. I think you will have fun making these decisions and mapping it out. And then don't forget, do the math on your productions. I did food again. It's really easy. All the information is right here. It tells you exactly what you need to do. You just have to figure out, is this what you want to do? Maybe it may not be. It's fine. Yeah, I think that's all I have. This is just supposed to help a little bit get things rolling for you if you're not really sure what you want to do next. If you have questions, please put them down in the comments. I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. There are no stupid questions. Everyone has a different opinion on how to start this. I have an opinion that's different than someone else's, but I will give you my opinion if you ask for it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I'll see you again next time. Bye.